In the small, dimly lit attic of an old Victorian house, the protagonist, a young and determined scientist named Alex, discovers an antique mirror. This is no ordinary mirror. Its frame is adorned with intricate carvings of celestial bodies and mystical symbols, hinting at its ancient origins and mysterious powers. Alex's fascination with parallel universes drives him to this attic, following a trail left by his sibling who vanished without a trace weeks ago. As Alex cleans the dust off the mirror, the glass shimmers unnaturally, reflecting not just his image but a glimpse of another world, a parallel version of his own room, but with subtle, unsettling differences. Compelled by the potential of finding his sibling, Alex steps through the mirror. The transition is disorienting. Alex arrives in a world where the colors are muted, the air feels denser, and the sounds are just a fraction off. It's his home, but not quite. As he explores this new environment, he begins to notice small changes in himself too. His reflections now show him with slightly different features. A scar he never had, eyes a shade darker. With each journey through the mirror network, Alex notices more changes. His own world begins to feel less and less familiar. His home is no longer a place of comfort, but a slightly distorted version of what it used to be. The neighborhood streets twist in ways they shouldn't, and the faces of his friends carry expressions he doesn't recognize. Driven by the hope of finding his sibling, Alex continues to navigate through the mirrors, but with each passage, the cost becomes clearer. His original world is slipping away, replaced bit by bit with elements from the countless parallels he crosses into. Despite the risks, the pull of the unknown and the potential to reunite with his sibling propels him forward, deeper into the labyrinth of mirrored worlds. The deeper Alex delves into the network of mirrors, the more fragmented his reality becomes. Each journey not only alters his world, but also fragments his own sense of self. He starts encountering versions of himself, some who have made different choices, leading lives alien to the one he remembers. These encounters are disconcerting, blurring the lines between what is real and what is merely a reflection of what could have been. In one world, Alex meets a version of himself who never pursued science, instead embracing a life of art and solitude. This Alex warns him of the dangers of traversing too far from one's origin, speaking of a point of no return, where the original self becomes irretrievable. However, the allure of possibly finding his sibling overshadows the cautionary tales, pushing him to take more risks. Each mirror now presents not just a doorway to another world, but a decision point. Alex learns to choose his paths carefully, guided by subtle signs and echoes of his sibling's presence. He discovers that the mirrors are not random portals, but connected in a complex web, each reflecting not only a world, but also the potential consequences of his choices. As the stakes escalate, so does the complexity of the challenges. Alex encounters worlds where the natural laws are dramatically altered. Gravity is less binding, time flows backward, echoes speak before voices are raised. The disorientation from these travels begins to take a toll on him, leaving him exhausted and increasingly detached from his own reality. Determined to press on, Alex focuses on the fragments of information he gathers from each world. Scraps of notes left by his sibling, familiar yet altered objects that seem to point the way forward. These clues are the breadcrumbs he follows through the ever-shifting labyrinth of mirrors, each step taking him closer to an answer, but further from the world he once called home. As Alex progresses, the boundaries between the worlds grow even thinner, resulting in worlds overlapping and intersecting in chaotic ways. In some mirrors, he glimpses moments from his past, watching them play out with slight variations, each reflecting a different choice he might have made. In others, he sees potential futures, some filled with joy, others with despair. Through this disorienting maze, Alex starts to perceive a pattern, an underlying symmetry to the chaos. He realizes that each world isn't just a variation, but a response, a reaction to the choices made in parallel lives. This insight becomes a guide, helping him navigate towards worlds that feel increasingly connected to his sibling's essence. In one pivotal journey, Alex steps into a world that seems almost correct, almost home. Here, he finds the house he grew up in, but it's filled with mementos of adventures and life choices that he and his sibling never actually lived. The house is a patchwork of their potential lives, a mosaic of what-ifs. It is here that Alex comes closest to finding his sibling, encountering a version of them that had chosen to stay in a world where they were a renowned explorer of these parallel dimensions. This version of his sibling, while not the one Alex lost, shares with him the heartache of their fragmentation across realities. They explain that with each journey through the mirrors, parts of them had remained behind, lost in the reflections. They warn Alex that the path to reintegration, to finding the original version of oneself or another, is fraught with the risk of losing oneself entirely. Armed with this knowledge and a renewed resolve, Alex chooses to take the ultimate risk. He aims to journey to the center of the mirror network, a nexus point where all possible worlds converge. This place, as described by his sibling's counterpart, is where one can potentially restore what was lost or forever become part of the myriad reflections. Alex's resolve solidifies into a single, driving need: to restore his sibling to their original world, or at the very least, reunite with them in some form, in some reality. Alex's journey culminates at the nexus of the mirror network, a cavernous room filled with mirrors of all shapes and sizes, each pulsating with a soft, otherworldly glow. The air is thick with the resonance of 1,000 worlds, each mirror humming with the potential of infinite realities. Here, Alex faces the culmination of all his travels, the potential to either restore his lost sibling or lose himself to the infinite possibilities. With a mix of trepidation and determination, Alex steps into the center of the nexus. The mirrors around him begin to swirl, their reflections blending into a dizzying kaleidoscope of lives and worlds. As he focuses his mind on his sibling, images of their life together, past, present, and potential, flash by in rapid succession. In this surreal confluence, Alex encounters the essence of his sibling, not just one lost in a single world, but fragmented across the network. Each fragment reflects a part of their shared experiences, their bond shaped by both joy and strife. By reaching out through the mirrors, Alex attempts to communicate, to reconnect these scattered pieces. Slowly, with each reflection he touches, Alex feels a sense of convergence, as if pulling a frayed tapestry back together. The process is exhausting, draining him of his energy as he must not only find, but also integrate the disparate parts of his sibling's existence. With each success, however, the nexus stabilizes, the chaotic reflections growing calmer, more coherent. Finally, in a moment of quiet clarity amid the storm of possibilities, Alex finds himself face to face with his sibling, whole and unbroken. The reunion is bittersweet, filled with the joy of rediscovery and the sorrow of what had been lost along the way. They speak of their journeys, of the lives they glimpsed and the choices they made. With his sibling restored, Alex faces a new choice: to return to their original world or embrace a new reality shaped by their travels. Together, they decide to leave the nexus, carrying with them the knowledge and experiences of the myriad worlds they have touched. They step out of the mirror network, not back into the world they left, but forward into a new one, a reality they choose together, informed by their journey through the mirrors. As they leave the nexus behind, the mirrors fade, their light dimming, until all that remains is the echo of the worlds they once connected. Alex and his sibling move forward, their bond strengthened by their shared odyssey, ready to face whatever this new world has to offer.